The Beyond the Fame podcast is fed by Lido Pizza. Lido Pizza never cuts corners. For menu and locations, visit LidoPizza.com. And of course, this podcast would not be possible without our longtime title sponsor, the Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races in West Virginia. Upcoming featured entertainment includes Ron White's additional second show January 24th and the Reagan Years on January 31st. Details and tickets at HollywoodCasinoCharlestown.com. Must be 21 to enter the casino floor and attend a show. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Welcome to the newest episode of Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. I'm your host, Jason Fraley, picking the brains of the top filmmakers, musicians, and artists of our time. Actor Cary Elwes stars in the new hostage flick Dead Man's Wire, which opens in theaters this Friday. He joined me to preview the movie and praise his director, Gus Van Sant, as well as reflect on his own iconic acting career, including comedies like The Princess Bride and Robin Hood Men in Tights, dramas like Glory, and even horror flicks like Saw. Cary, hey, thank you so much for joining the show today.
Thank you for having me.
You're a legend. This is a big deal. When I told my wife, this is a big deal in our household.
Thank you.
We are here talking your newest movie. It's called Dead Man's Wire. Watched it, really enjoyed it. It says so much about society, even today. It's in theaters everywhere, January 9th, as we roll into award season here. So why don't we start with the premise here, really quick, and then I have so much to ask you afterwards. But give us the premise. It's sort of in the title, what the Dead Man's Wire is and how it ties into this, real life hostage situation.
Sure. It's based on a true story about a guy called Tony Kuritzis, who felt like he'd been marginalized, like a small guy up against a system that he felt was oppressing him. And he felt no other alternative but to take matters into his own hands against the people he felt were exploiting him, and take a poor young man hostage called Dick Hall, who worked for his mortgage. It was, I think, the president or CEO of his mortgage company, who he felt had stolen land from him, and take this man hostage and air his grievances live on all four major networks, which had never happened before, and held this poor man captive with this thing called a dead man's wire, which is a unique kind of trap that he set up, where he used wire to attach a shotgun to Dick Hall's neck and connected it to himself, so that if anyone ever shot him or tackled him to the ground or tried to wrestle the shotgun from him, it would go off and kill the poor hostage. So that's how he was able to get this standoff to happen, and was able to exploit the situation for so long. And it's a true story. I mean, we didn't have to make anything up. It's all there on the screen.
Yeah, I would say it writes itself, but that would undersell Gus Van Sant and then the director and the screenwriter, and it is super well done. But yeah, the story itself is my point. It's there for the taking, and you guys executed perfectly. We should say Tony, the hostage taker you're talking about, is played by Bill Skarsgård. People remember him as Pennywise in It, and then there was that horror movie Barbarian. Just some really good stuff. But then, what a cool role for him. And to me, what's cool about this, similar to like Al Pacino, who's in the movie, similar to Al Pacino in Dog Day Afternoon, or Denzel Washington and like John Q, or you understand the motives of the hostage taker. You know what I mean? Even though obviously it's a criminal act, but legally, but the great hostage movies that I'm talking about, like, you understand why he would do it. And to paint it to modern day, I mean, it's almost like forgive me for saying that, but like a Luigi killing the United Healthcare CEO, or maybe like a Sackler family. There's these big companies that a lot of the common men are like fighting against. So I don't know. Is that why his role is so juicy? It's like we common folks watching the movie can be like, he might be breaking the law, but I kind of get his point.
Yeah. No, I think that there are themes that resonate today. People feeling like they're being the system is exploiting them.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with taking the law into your own hands. Certainly, obviously, we don't advocate killing anybody.
Sure, never.
But I think it does. This question helps ask. This movie helps ask questions rather than answer them for you. And I think that's an important part of it and why people it will resonate with folks. But it's not a maudlin film. It's not a really dark kidnapping movie. It's actually very funny. There's a lot of humor in it.
Oh yeah.
All day afternoon, and you do empathize with Tony Curtis, with Bill's character, because he made him so human and so and dealt with some dark humor that makes the film very exciting and relatable.
Yeah, and some of that comedy comes through a little bit with your character. You're based on the real life detective Mike Grable, is who you play. Talk about sort of how, transforming into that role. I mean, you have a beard, a little hair, like how much hair and makeup, even crafting the accent. Like you kind of disappear into the role a little bit. It took a second. I'm like, oh, that's Cary. I'm interviewing him. We kept waiting for you. I was like, oh wait, he's already been on screen for 5 minutes.
Thank you. Yeah, that was the point. I really did want to disappear into the
Yeah.
character, and that's why I kind of campaigned to play him. I was initially offered the FBI agent, and I said to Gus, I often get offered the roles of the blue of the white collar guy, clean shaven, uh, suit and tie, and I said I really want to play the blue collar working class detective. I very rarely get an opportunity to play those kinds of roles, and I said I really think I can find that character if you give me the chance to do it. And he was very supportive. So
Yeah, you mentioned Gus, so we should tell everyone this is the director, the great director, Gus Van Sant. I always love kind of seeing where a movie falls in their timeline of their filmography, and I always try to do like a little auteur through line. So bear with me. I'm think like has a little bit of the class issues that maybe were dealt with in Good Will Hunting, a little violent act like his Elephant single take, a little bit of. I even noticed maybe a little LGBT in My Own Private Idaho. I'm not sure. It kind of hints at it with Skarsgård saying he wasn't allowed to dance as a kid. Who knows? But that's my little through line, bringing it here. And now this, I think, what's cool with him is he uses like mixed media. You know what I mean? Coleman Domingo is the radio host, Mahalia, am I saying that right? As the TV anchor reporter. We're jumping in and out of cool like mixed media of looking at footage while the real life events are juxtaposed. So, yeah, I mean, is that the secret to what made Gus great to work with here? The mixed media commentary, or what was it for
I
you?
think it's just the fact that he's one of he's a national treasure.
Yeah,
He's a real artist and a real Renaissance man. I mean, this is a guy who when he's not making movies, he paints, he's a great photographer, he's a musician. I mean, he's a real Renaissance man,
yeah,
and his films are deeply, deeply uh, impactful. I mean, when you see them, like you said, you
yeah.
can't, and you can't forget the performances. You can't forget the story. He's a remarkable storyteller, filmmaker, and a real classical. I think he makes classic cinema where you can count on one hand the directors who have that ability.
Yeah.
So he needs to be honored and respected, and I felt it was an absolute honor for me to get to
Yeah.
work. Any actor worth their salt wants to work with Gus.
Gus Van Sant's one of the greats, absolute of our time. And well, you said you can count on one hand. Well, I should say you've worked with a lot of them. Let's give Rob Reiner his flowers here. The Princess Bride. Well, William Goldman too on the screenplay, and the amazing cast, obviously. I interviewed Mandy Patinkin about Inigo Montoya. Obviously, everyone quotes, "Prepare to die, you killed my father." But he said he was like, "Well, that's great. Everyone quotes it, but my favorite is at the end after the Man in Black asked him, 'Would you like to be the next Dread Pirate Roberts?'" That was his like underrated line. How about for you? Everyone quotes Wesley's, as you wish, but for you, is there a favorite line that's sort of your underrated favorite line?
Well, there are so many. That was the talent of William Goldman. It's that he
Yeah.
created so many one-liners that are so indelibly linked to the film
Yeah.
and the zeitgeist.
Inconceivable. We could go all day. Yeah. Yeah.
I do love my characters as you wish, only because he told me the story behind it. He said, those three lines obviously mean I love you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And he said, I wrote that line for Wesley as a hidden Easter egg for my daughters to let them know both when I wrote the novel and then the movie that it was dad saying I love you every time they heard that. And so it
Aw.
has a meaning for me that's deeper than the film itself. And that ends up being very personal to me. So I said the same thing to my daughter.
Oh, wow. So you tell your own daughter as you wish. All right.
Wow. I said if you watch the movie, that's
All right, fair enough. Hey, we actually just had our first daughter. She's 4 weeks old today, so I have your permission to say as you wish to her in that context.
is that your first?
Very, our first, and it was a
Uh,
surrogacy journey. My wife had uterine cancer,
uh,
and so it's a miracle baby,
oh
Christmas
my
baby.
God, a Christmas miracle. I love it.
Yeah, oh yeah. But I
Please,
can tell her as you wish and send your regards to her.
100%. Tell her as you wish for me.
Little Ada. Oh, she will be watching Princess Bride. No, you are like the swashbuckler. I love it. You are like our generation's Errol Flynn swashbuckler. You know what I mean? Like, Princess Bride really captures that, but it also has sort of that spoof-ish quality to it, which you really became known for there in the early '90s with Hot Shots by Jim Abrams. Obviously, he had done Airplane and Naked Gun, but my favorite of that spoof era would be, of course, Robin Hood Men in Tights, Mel Brooks. Uh, I put that on my Mel Brooks Mount Rushmore. I would say it's producers, Young Frankenstein, Blazing Saddles, and then either Spaceballs or yours. I'll give you the edge. What say you? Do you think you belong? I mean, do you put it yourself in that high regard as I do?
Grew up being a huge fan of Mel Brooks, and so I was thrilled to get that call from him to
Yeah.
come work. So it was a joyful. Every day was joyful working every single moment.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
remember very fondly. Yeah,
People on the street always coming up to you, still singing, we're men in ties."
the fan base of that is legion, and so and gratefully, when I talk to Mel, he reminds me all the time that it was one of the most enjoyable experiences he had as a filmmaker. So I feel grateful for that too.
I love it. I promise I will wrap it back around to Dead Man's Wire by the end. This, you know how these things go. We get in some of the hits and then we move it back around and we're good to go. But I do want to hit a couple more of your serious roles. I've praised some of your comedies. Well, not to mention Liar Liar. There's so many good comedies as well. But I want to give you props from dramatic roles. That'll segue us back to this one. Um, Glory. I know the sound mixer Russell Williams very well, actually. But Ed Zwick directs it. Matthew Broderick, Morgan Freeman, Oscar-winning Denzel Washington. Great movie. Um, were you were you actually on set? I want to know your reaction, like watching Denzel do that teardrop whipping scene. That probably won him the Oscar. It's like a freaking meme. Today's kids know it as like a GIF on Instagram or Twitter, X. But what was it like being there on set watching Denzel crank that out? Because not everyone knew him as we know him now. But I mean, reaction from being there
I
live.
was a huge fan of Denzel's and Morgan's work long before I was cast in the film, obviously, and so
Yeah,
I used every opportunity to go and watch them work, even when I wasn't on the call sheet.
yeah.
And so I happened to be in that scene and watched him achieve that moment. And it was very powerful for all of us, very powerful. What you see emotionally there uh, in that moment from all of us, especially my character,
Yeah.
Captain Forbes, is very real. Denzel surprised us all. We didn't know what he was doing in the makeup trailer for several hours preparing to have his shirt ripped off. And
Oh, when you see those marks on his face.
yeah, and it explained who Trip was right away.
Yeah.
He's a remarkable talent, Denzel, a lovely human being, and a remarkable talent. And he I was grateful to get to work with these actors who all were seasoned pros and be in
Mm.
a project that, as you say, has some relevance and historical, sociological and historical relevance.
That's right. You and Matthew Broderick are standing there and you're watching it and you're flinching and almost have to look away, but you're the command, you're the leading this unit. So you have to have the seriousness, brass, military brass, but that's a hard juxtaposition for you to play, I'm sure. Did Denzel ever reveal after the fact how he achieved the tier? Like actor process wise, actors on actors?
I've been to Denzel and ask him.
I'll
He's a
ask him that. Yeah.
great talent. I don't. I you know
Yeah.
he's wonderful,
Absolutely.
wonderful talent. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, obviously, no time to go into all of your other roles. I'll just rattle off a couple for our listeners. Go back and, young listeners, go check out you and Tony Scott's Days of Thunder, or Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula, or Jen DeBont's Twister. So many good ones. But I have to ask one more. Saw. Let's do Saw. Everyone, I mean, you're sitting down because you sawed your own leg off. You're sitting here in this interview because you cut your leg off, right? Just kidding. But how was it trying to protect that twist? You knew on set the twist, but what was it like trying to protect that shocking horror twist that Jigsaw was laying out while you're on set? Are you cognizant of that? Is that like top of mind the whole way through?
Well, I mean, you never want to play the reveal while you're working. I mean,
Yeah.
that was one of the things that attracted me to the story when I read the screenplay was that it had this unbelievable twist of an ending.
So you didn't see it coming when you were reading it.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
And so once I got to that final page, I was like, I'm in. So yeah, it was a great screenplay. Lee Winnell and James wrote a terrific, terrific script.
And you get the pleasure of acting across the guy that wrote it. That doesn't happen very often, but
No,
yeah,
he's a
that's great.
wonderful actor too. I wish he'd do more of it, but he's a terrific director now.
Well, he's making Invisible Man. He's doing great on his own. You know what I mean? Behind the camera, but you're saying get back out in front of the camera.
Terrific,
All right.
multi-talented human being.
All right. Well, again, thank you for indulging me on some of the filmography stuff. We didn't even get to Mission Impossible or Stranger Things or even Seinfeld. I remember you in that too, baby. But bringing it back around in our final minutes here, Dead Man's Wire. It worked. We're painting your career, and this is your next step. Didn't your brother? Did I see your brother co-produce this thing? Why'd you guys want to jump in on this particular story? Where you know what I mean?
He didn't co-produce it; he produced it.
Oh, he produced it. All right.
Yeah, no, he'd been trying to work with Gus for a long time. Gus is one of his favorite directors, and he'd been trying to get a movie with him going for almost a decade,
Yeah.
and couldn't get Gus interested in anything. And then he finally found this script and thought it would resonate with Gus, and it did. And so I called him and I said, yeah, you got to get me on the phone with Gus. You got to get me a partner. And he said, no, I'm not going to do that. You can have a cameo if you want. And I said, come on, just let me talk to him. Just ask him if there's a role he would like.
Yeah.
And he said, don't get your hopes up. He casts his own movies. And so I'll ask him, but I'm not going to push it. I said, okay. And he called Gus, and Gus very graciously said to him, I love your brother's work, but do you think he'd do a movie? And Cassie said, yeah, I think I can get him. And then I got on the phone with Gus, and Gus initially offered me the FBI agent role. And I said to Gus, Gus, I often get chosen for those white collar roles, suit and tie, clean shaven roles. And I said, I really want to delve into the blue collar role. Nobody really offers me those kinds of roles.
Yeah.
I've never done that before, and I really want to try it. And if you'll let me, I think I can bring you something that will surprise you. And he was very amenable to it. He said, yeah, go ahead. And that's how I got the role of Grable. Yeah.
I love it. So that's what it was for you. It was the chance, the opportunity to stretch and play that blue collar Midwest Indianapolis kind of cop, as opposed to the Wesley and you're British born. You were born in the year David Lean made Lawrence of Arabia in London. So you're trying to do that blue collar American thing, and you did. You succeeded. I can say I love the movie. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you, Jason. Appreciate you. Thank you for having me. And happy
all right.
holidays to you and all your viewers and listeners. Thank you.
And our newborn, I will say as you wish to little Ada. I promise.
God bless you.
All right. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
You too. Thank you.
This episode was recorded before the tragic murder of Rob Reiner and his wife, but Elwes recently posted this tribute on Instagram. Quote, enough time has passed that I can finally put my grief into words. I was 24 when I first met Rob Reiner on The Princess Bride, and from that very meeting I fell in love with him. End quote. He went on to write, quote, his laugh was one of the greatest sounds I've ever known, so heartfelt it still rings in my ears, end quote. And he ended by writing, quote, I know the grief of losing you too soon will likely never go away. Sure, death cannot stop true love, but life is pain without you, end quote. You can hear my conversation with Reiner himself in the archives at BeyondTheFamePodcast.com. Thanks so much for listening to Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. Our theme music is Scott Buckley's Clarion. Remember to give us a 5-star rating if you like what you hear. We'll see you next time.